On my 7th day in Scotland, I headed towards Islay in the Scottish Roots touring van, which went from Edinburgh to Deanston Distillery, then on to Oban Distillery, and then continued on Highway A816 to the Kennaquhaig port, where we would meet the ferry that would take us to Islay in the late afternoon. Hello, this is Erik. Wait, we just left the mainland. We're on our way to Islay. So bon voyage and slán you va.
2 hours later.
The ferry ride is about 2 hours as it heads south to Port Ellen, and as you approach the island, the view is very dramatic as you pass the iconic white buildings of the town and the distilleries. Having arrived at Port Ellen, we departed the ferry and our bus took us to the town of Bowmore, where we would spend the next 2 nights at the Bowmore Hotel, about 2 blocks from Bowmore Distillery. But by the time we arrived on Islay, we had been traveling for at least 8 hours, so upon arrival we settled into our hotel, went out to dinner, and began our tour of Islay distilleries the following day.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Hey, this is Erik. Just want to say good morning. It's about 8 o'clock here in Islay. I want to say hello to my fellow whiskey tubers. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely spectacular day. 71 degrees and sunny. Really looking forward to a day visiting distilleries. Cheers. On our first day on Islay, we visited 3 neighboring distilleries, and our first stop was at Lagavulin Distillery. The founding of Lagavulin Distillery officially dates back to 1816, when John Johnston and Archibald Campbell constructed 2 distilleries on the site. One of them became Lagavulin, taking over the other. Which one it is, whether it's Johnston's or Campbell's, it's not exactly known. However, records show illicit distillation in at least 10 illegal distilleries on the site as far back as 1742. Lagavulin is known for its slow distillation speed and pear-shaped pot stills. The 2 wash stills have a capacity of 11,000 liters and the 2 spirit stills of 12,500 liters each. However, we didn't do a distillery tour, but rather a barrel room tasting with Ian MacArthur, which was a lot of fun.
I'll have the jug here ready for you.
Okay. So there's one thing my predecessor forgot to do is when you finish pulling it out, you're supposed to do a dance. You have to do a little bit of a dance. So.
Quickly now, quickly.
There we go. Oh, I didn't get much out of there.
Oh my days. I mean, you can't do a dance for that.
No, can't do a dance.
Keep it nice and low.
Oh, nice and low. There's not much in the barrel, I think.
Yes, we're doing quite a lot of sake.
Did you like the 60-year-old?
Yeah, Australasian phrasing.
Quick. It's a wee bit better.
We'll be here for 5 o'clock.
I only smoke 3 packs a day, so there we go.
You better throw the packs away then. This next one we're doing, folks, is 18-year-old. It's not the same as the festival one.
How much are we trying to get?
18-year-old, it's not on this sheet.
More than double that.
16-year-old is on the sheet.
What, you
It's
gotta double that?
finished. This is an 18-year-old. And the 18-year-old is 52 now. It's got a bit of colour.
Nice and low.
Okay. The barrel's almost empty, isn't it?
Especially the one remembers in a sherry cask for a wee while. Stay in the same cask. Before we kill you, better.
Oh, sorry.
You've got to lick that bit now.
I know.
You did very well because the cask is quite.
Now we do the dance. The standard Lagavulin single malt is 16 years old, bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. Though they regularly release a 12-year-old cask strength variety, a distiller's edition finished in Pedro Jimenez casks, and 25 and 30-year-old varieties as well. During the warehouse demonstration tasting, we tasted 6 cask strength whiskeys. The first was the Official 2018, bottled at 53.9%. Fishel is a yearly festival that they have on the island. We had the 2012 6-year-old, bottled at 61%. The 2002 16-year-old, bottled at 51.8%. The 1998 20-year-old, bottled at 52%. The 1993 25-year-old, bottled at 49.2%. And the 1997 21-year-old, bottled at 52.4% alcohol by volume. Needless to say, it was a good thing that none of us were driving. Alrighty, during my travels, I only brought home bottles that I could only get at the distillery-owned editions. And one that I brought home is this 2018 Fishel edition of Lagavulin. It is bottled at 53.9% alcohol by volume. Fishel is a holiday, a festival of the island on Isla, and a lot of the distilleries produce a distillery-only edition. The only way you're going to get it is actually go to the island, and sometimes the distilleries sell out before the end of the holiday. They produced 6,000 of these bottles. This is number 4,334. It may already be gone. You may find these on the secondary market, but you're going to pay through the nose for them. I paid 130 pounds for this, which is about $170 US. I did an uncorking of this whiskey and absolutely loved it on a Wednesday live event, and did a comparison with this and the 16. You may want to check out that video. Now it's had a little bit of time to open up. It's broken down below the shoulder. I've had this sitting in the glass here for about an hour, so it's had time to open up a lot more. I bought 3 of these bottles. One at the request of Roy at Aquavite, and then 2 for myself. One to sort of sit on for a while, and the other one to enjoy. Alrighty, let's get into this. Oh, one thing. During the live event, I found that I really enjoyed this a lot more with just a little bit of water, just 2 little teaspoons. It not only sort of reduced the tingle of the alcohol bite, but also really brought out a lot more of the flavor. So let me quickly put in 2 teaspoons again. Give a slight swirl. So if you go to Lagavulin Distillery, you're going to want to go to a warehouse tasting, as you just saw there. A lot of fun. Ian there is absolutely hilarious. He is a legend on Isla. You're in the warehouse, you're not touring around the warehouse, you're not looking at things, and it's not so much of an event where you're going to sort of ask a lot of questions and get them answered, although you might get that as well. But essentially a entertaining walkthrough of all these various whiskeys. Now, out of all the ones we tasted, which one was my favorite? I don't really remember, and they're all absolutely fantastic. And after having that many drams, let's be honest, you can sort of begin to feel it a little bit, and they all taste good after a little while. But I bought this one since it is a distillery exclusive. Alrighty, on the palate. Let's say on the nose. Medium intense aromas. Yes, you get the smoke, you get the peat, but interwoven with that is some nice grilled fruit notes. Grilled peach, grilled pear, a little bit of citrus. There's a little bit of black olive, a salty sea breeze. Definitely some chocolate notes. Caramel. A little brininess. All right, on the palate. One more. I'm definitely going to say, in the 24 hours that the bottle's been open, having this sit out in a glass, having put in a little bit of water, I do see a huge difference between yesterday and yesterday, or when I recorded the live event, which at the time of recording this video was yesterday. I can definitely tell it has opened up a lot. Absolutely delicious. It has a sweetness, but not a sugary sweetness to it. A very intense and concentrated fruit flavor. Grilled fruits. I don't know if you've ever put fruit on a barbecue before. Dried pear, peach. It has, and I mentioned this before actually in the live event as well, a meaty character to it, but it's not the core part of the meat. It's if you've put a nice spiced rub on a tri-tip and then seared that, and so you get this nice spicy, crispy skin on it. That you get that on this. Nice chocolatey notes, a little bit of black pepper, some grilling spices, some vanilla, caramel. The black olive, not so much on the palate as I did on the nose. An absolutely delicious whiskey. If I have to give it a score, I'll give this one 94 points. 94 points. This is absolutely fantastic. Alrighty, if you ever have a chance to visit Lagavulin, particularly around the time of Fishiel, and you can pick up a bottle, I would highly, highly recommend it. Alrighty, that's it for this video. By the way, I haven't been doing my whiskey quizzes as much for my travel videos. I did a little bit. For Lagavulin, Ardbeg, and Laphroaig, I'm going to do a quiz after I do Laphroaig. So you're going to want to pay attention to this video, to my next video, which will be Ardbeg, and then the next one, which will be Laphroaig. And I will quiz you on all three of these distilleries together. These three distilleries are sort of more similar to each other than the rest of the Islay distilleries, although they're different, but they're more alike in terms of the intensity of the peat, in terms of the reflection of the terroir. They're more alike than, say, as I said before, as the other distilleries. So I've sort of grouping these three together. So if you like learning along with me and you like those quizzes, look for it in the Laphroaig video. All right, that's it for this video. Until next time, cheers. If you have benefited from my wine or whiskey studies and you wish to support this ongoing work, I ask that you become a Patreon supporter. The link to my Patreon account is in the description box below.